And hello to welcome to Dog in a Tank live stream. Well, today it's sort of cat in a tank because I have a special guest star here. It is my cat Katie, and she's just sitting back there looking at me like she thinks I've lost my last marbles. So yes, well once more I have Valor and the villain of Victor Kingdom here. They don't get along. I shall say that much. Let me just I'll get switch over here. And I finished this page without you guys. I actually wanted to finish it and move on to the next page. But so far on the other pages, I've only managed to really just work on getting the drawings more refined. So I've got a lot more work to do over on those pages. And I'm actually planning on working on something else today, assuming I can do that. So yeah, I wanted to at least show you this page because I felt like you guys should at least get to see it. I do plan on eventually there being a hard copy with my comics in it for you guys to, read and hold so you can actually see this stuff in person instead of just watching me work on it. But it'll probably be a while, to be honest, before I can get to that point based on the sort of project that I'm working on. So yeah. And I'm just going to close this and I've been considering what I want to do today. I've actually been sort of flip-flopping on what exactly that is. Because part of me is tempted just to work on Grieving Princess, and part of me is tempted to go work on something else. I guess I'm leaning towards working on something else. I'm going to have to make that a little bit longer. There we go. So yeah. I have plenty of work to do. I have obviously Grieving Princess I'm working on. I've mentioned other things before that I'm working on. Let's see how this looks. Come on, there we go. And I have something also associated with the comic or comics that I'm working on, but it's kind of at that point where I still have a long way to go before I feel like I can really announce anything exactly on that front. So I have a plan. I'm trying to stick to the plan. I've just got a lot of work to do. I have a lot, well, between this and trying to just simply get out there. So yeah. Hello. It does. I mean, writing multiple stories I think has been a really good opportunity for me to kind of be able to look at everything I've done so far and kind of critique things and really learn from one story to the other. I learned so much doing Phantom Eclipse. Let me flip this thing because it went to landscape there. Here we go. I've learned a lot doing Phantom Eclipse, and I learn every time I jump into a different story because it's a new world, it's new characters, it's all these little things. And I'm also considering, the things I can do to make each story stand apart because I don't want someone to read my work and be going, "Oh, this is just a cookie cutter." There will be no cookie cutter here. There may be some small similarities because I feel like that is going to happen a bit And I've heard that about like other writers, how like the readers will note like these little little things that the writers will do. Like they'll have all these different books, but you'll have these key things. Yes, it is. There'll be these key things that are just sort of the fingerprint, I would say, of that writer. And this thing is taking a bit. Then again, I also have like a dozen other things loading. And I guess to sort of start this off a little bit easier, I will start, because this is going to be, I'm going to be drawing the main protagonist of my comic series here. If I can get this thing I need to just zoom in. Yeah. There we go. I suppose that cookie cutter is a strong word, because it is something. Well, it's like, you know, you think cookie cutter, first thing comes to mind is like a house, or like, well, cookie cutters. So it's that thing of, whenever I'm writing a story, I don't want each story to be like the last one. Like I said, I think it's okay, like I said, to have like those little things that are like trademarks of my writing style. Granted, I feel like I still have a lot to learn, but I think it's one thing to have those little things that are the trademarks of my writing style, but I don't think it's good to really have things that go past that point. So, yeah. So, let me see. I feel like a lot of things that I have said regarding my characters on here, I've said them a lot. So I feel like I can't really say more. So yeah. What do you think, Katie? She's just sitting there. Oh, she's just sitting there looking very adorable. Yes, Katie says hello. Katie the cat says hello. This isn't going to be perfect, but I'm not going for. This is a rough sketch, so I tend to sketch things 2 or 3 times. It's very rare for me not to sketch things, and you've probably already seen that if you've seen other live streams, or you've been saying hello to your little girl. What do you think about that, Katie? Hello, baby. There is something going on in that head. It's just, I'm not sure I want to think about what is going on inside that little head. Ignorance is bliss. Perhaps thoughts of world domination, Katie? Is that what you want, world domination? Do you want all the Friskies, Katie? All the seafood Friskies? That's always good. Yeah. I'm not sure I particularly like this pose all that much. Come on. There we go. Hello, Sassy and Clo. That's good. That. I don't know. I think, if I have to pick between, certain. Oh dear. I feel like I want to say something, but I don't want to say it, if you know what I mean. But yeah. Hello, baby. Yeah. So yeah. I'm working on trying to draw Echo right now, and the proportions are off. Scooch that up a little bit. This is the first. Cool. I have actually, that's one thing I've been sort of thinking about with like Grieving Princess, is that I would like to have like kind of beast themed elves, I guess. I think I mentioned that previously, but I'll go ahead and say it anyways. But because I would like to sort of have an excuse. You know, we already have ones with moth wings. Yes, indeed. I already have one. I have already ones with moth wings and bird wings, all that sort of stuff. So I guess I was thinking that it would be cool to have like some wolf or fox or possibly even cat themed. I mean, it's fiction. You know, it's an endless supply of wherever I want to do. I am looking forward to getting around to draw that. I started to draw something the other day and then decided I didn't like it because my idea was to sort of have like the elf ears go up into like the animal ears, but then after I drew it, I didn't like it, so I'm going to have to work on it. I just didn't like how it looked because it just looked weird. So I may just. I'm considering my options after doing that, because. Yeah, yeah, take your time with that. I was actually sort of shocked about how long the second chapter of it was whenever I was sending it to you, because that was very much longer than I was expecting it to be. But there is a lot of stuff going on there. And that's that's one thing I was sort of laughing about to myself, was because it's like each chapter was sort of getting to be a little bit longer in length, and I think that's just because of I tend to write till I feel like I'm satisfied with it, or until I feel like I have no more fuel for that part and I move on. I figure you were just busy, that's all. I've been busy myself a lot lately, and that's why I've been quiet. Life tends to just kind of grab you and run with you, and then you're just sort of there left holding the bag trying to keep up with everything. I have no clue what I want to do with the arms. It's Echo, and I usually with her, I have her shooting out her eclipse. Cool. Have her eclipse chains coming. Oh, there's something I might be able to talk about on this. Because I don't think I have really talked about or brought up the eclipse energy or anything else from Phantom Eclipse very often. But Phantom Eclipse has, and this is for I guess new listeners. I am keeping an eyeball on the chat, so this is something I guess for anyone who's just hopping on whenever they hop on, but or for other people for later. Phantom Eclipse has sort of, I guess, a energy style power system in terms of how the over that works in that series. Like you have, yeah, you have eclipse energy, for instance, which is a lot like it is like photosynthesis. It's like photosynthesis. It absorbs light and converts it into energy that the user can then use as a weapon. That is what that does. So that is that. And so the characters all have some different form of energy, because I felt like it'd be. There are some who do have the same, but those are more important characters. I didn't want to really use the same one more than for the key characters in question. So, yeah. Like, Serena has Tempest energy, which allows her to manipulate water. Basically, as long as there's any percentage of water, and this is something you'll get to learn, like the first chapter. Well, maybe not. Yeah, I think so. I have to reread it. It's been a while. So if not, you're getting an explanation here. But it basically, it takes the water in the area and multiplies it. So she can then utilize it however she pleases. Whether it's in defense or offense, that's how that one works. And of course, not everyone has like an energy based ability. I think there are some that have more physical based ones, but in general, it is primarily like energy type ones. So yeah, here, let me close that and just so yeah, that's Phantom Eclipse's power thing, sort of, in a nutshell. Some of the abilities that I put into Phantom Eclipse, there are like different versions of the abilities when I first started writing it, and then as I would develop them, they would evolve. Like, for instance, Diamond Ace, her ability used to be different, and in many ways, her code name is kind of the only thing left over from her starting days whenever I first started writing her. That's basically her name, and everything else has shifted and changed between her abilities and other things. And hers, of course, I'm debating if this is spoilery or not. I don't know, but she basically has her diamonds, which you will get to see a little bit of, I think, in chapter 1. You'll get to see more of that in chapter 5. But, yeah. Her abilities start off as one thing, and I evolved it because it was one of those things I kept working with it till I was finally satisfied. So, yeah. A lot of the other abilities I have pretty much been fairly satisfied with right out the gate. Like, Eclipse Energy, that is, I think, the first one I first brainstormed for Phantom Eclipse. And it has, aside from other tweaks that I've made, like adding the phases, it's pretty much stayed the same. Basically, the photosynthesis type ability energy conversion. That's basically stayed the same. Although it's sort of how the phases work, except especially the last. Well, darn, that's spoilery. Oh, poo. I hate knowing too much. But yeah. I'm trying to think. There are some other changes I think that happened to Eclipse Energy, but I don't. Again, that's spoiler territory. Exactly. And with Diamond Ace, it was sort of broke, and I just really wasn't satisfied with it. Because I rewrote Phantom Eclipse, especially the first and second season, so many times. Which basically, by that I mean, I would start writing. I would think I finished season 1, then I would go back. I would start writing season 2, then I would go back because I wasn't satisfied. So yeah. Oh, baby, the little cat is trying to nap. She's just vibing back here. Oh, poo. I do plan on drawing uh, Josh Welker, who is my Gaboon Viper guy. If anyone would like to check him, get to see him, I am planning on drawing, of course, Lacrimosa again, but again because she is the protagonist of her main series. I haven't really decided on anybody who I want to do for Flowers of Solace, so I may kind of make that a tie between Vincent and Dahlia, because technically Dahlia is, and this is the stupid thing I decided to mess up, Dahlia is the main character, but again, I wound up making the focus of the one shot more on Vincent just because it made the story work. It's not that I don't think I could have made it work with Dahlia. It's just some characters I think work better than others in certain regards. I think I am making her shoulders a little too wide. That's what I get. I haven't really drawn her in a while, and since I've been drawing elves for like the past few months. Yeah, I think I can shrink that a little bit. There we go. I don't mind drawing things a little big, but I don't like drawing it too big. No. Well, in general, I tend to write, like more, like you have like the main character, and then you have the group of the main characters. And so I try to write the characters evenly. Although that can be hard, because the more characters you're juggling, the more likely somebody is going to get lost in the mess. So I try to run kind of a tight ship in that regard. Because I do believe in the rule that less is more. In some cases, it is. In other cases, you really do need more characters. And that's one thing I've been heavily thinking about with Breathing Princess and the other series I'm working on. Because those two stories are the kind I think that benefit from having, thank you, more characters. This thing does not want to cooperate. It's sort of coming around nicely. I have not drawn her. I have this outfit of hers memorized because I've been drawing it literally for years, since 2016, if you believe it. In fact, whenever I first started drawing the Phantom Eclipse characters, the first thing that came to mind was, I want this to be something that I would love to one day see I want it to be something easy that someone could cosplay. Like, they could collect the items and they could put the costume together. I want it to be easy for people, because not that there aren't people out there who cosplay that, can't do really intricate outfits. It's just, I was just trying to, if I were to ever get popular enough that someone would kindly cosplay one of my characters, I didn't want to make it such a big task. Yes, Miss Katie probably is. I just saw her ears move, so she's napping, but she's also listening in. But yeah, that's, I think, like everybody's dream whenever you start a series, is to see someone cosplay your character, even if it's just one person. I think that is everybody's dream, to one day see that. Well, it's part of the thing, that you want to see people cosplay. And of course, I can't guarantee that I will keep the costumes simple. Like, who knows? Like, Lacrimosa would probably be considered easy to cosplay now, but whenever I finally get towards the end of the series, I'll probably max out my art skills or something and decide to really make myself suffer by developing some nightmare of a costume to draw. and to potentially cosplay. I just don't like how this looks. That's why we have erasers. It would be, and I hope to maybe see that one day, but right now I gotta get to the point where my stuff is out there enough for people to find it and want to do that, so I will focus on simply getting out there. And I'm going to come down here and do a little trick I do sometimes whenever I'm positioning the legs, which is I draw a rectangle to get kind of the perspective a little bit better. It's not the best method, but it does better than flying blind. So yeah. Here we go. I was going to originally draw, I think, the first foot more on her toe, but since she's sort of stepping forward, I think it makes sense that the back would be on the toe. There we go. Sort of thicken. It's behind, so it's going to be thinner than the front, but it's still going to be, I don't want it to be too thin. And I'm still not sure if I particularly like this pose. I'm going to move on to drawing a different character here. Then maybe come back to that. I don't know if I'll actually get around to finishing this. And I think I will use this as an excuse to bust out my reference sheets here. If I can find what I'm looking for. Storyboard. And I feel like this is sort of a boring conversation. Maybe not for us, but how about let's spice it up a little bit. What is this? Oh wow, that's the old drawing. Yeah, you're just going to be hearing me commentate on my own art now. I have had this sketch pad for a while now because, yeah, I started drawing it so I would have the characters' designs out, because that's what I do. I draw a lot of stuff by hand because I learned very early on in doing digital work that you really don't want to do everything digitally, as I butcher that word. And the main reason I say that is because it's very easy to get into that mindset of, well, it's so quick and easy to do it digitally. But it's not the best choice because you learn to use. Okay, here we go. I think I'm getting where I need to go. You get used to using the digital as a crutch, and that's not good. So in order to basically keep your skills up, here we go, I'm getting there. You have to keep drawing traditionally. I think you'll be fine. Because I didn't realize, because I started looking at this and I didn't realize how comparable the character design was to another character design I did. But I think I can work with this. I mean, I will live. I think it's okay for there to be a little bit of overlap, just not too much. I should probably start inking my sketches more. I think one of my problems is I feel like that this one is stiff. You see the thing moving over it. That one is stiff, and that's what's bugging me. It looks stiff, and you don't want it to look stiff. So, we'll have to seriously work on this. But yeah, I don't plan on being able to finish these. I'm just doing the sketching. That's good. Back up we go. I'm gonna throw this one out there, just for the heck of it. Have you seen Arachnophobia? I'm gonna just throw that out there. I feel like I get because I'm drawing comics. It's easy for me to talk about comics, but that's not the best conversation topic. But yes, have you seen Arachnophobia? Oh, it is good. You would really like it. It has a battle scene in it towards the end that is worthy of like an anime fight. So yeah, it is really cool. And give me a minute here. This stream is a bit slow, so I should be able to just definitely check out Arachnophobia. I'm going to pop out in a minute. Or not. I may pop out in a minute. So, here we go. So definitely check that movie out at some point. It is really good. I did hear something tragic about the actor for that. Apparently he disappeared or something. And basically I think he went off like mountain climbing and disappeared, which is really sad. But the movie is really good. This is one you probably definitely have not heard of. Creature with the Atom Brain. I'm just sort of sitting here chatting because I'm waiting to hear. Yes, I will have to leave briefly here in a minute because I'm expecting something. So yeah. So hang in there. And I'm back. I apologize for the rather long hiatus there. I didn't mean for it to go for so long. But I had to take care of something real quick. Well, attempt to take care of it real quick. Hello, Katie. Hey, baby. Oh. Anyways. Close that. And yeah. Oh, there we go. Has anyone seen Creature of the Atomic Brain? I'll throw that one out there just for the heck of it. I don't really think anyone's really seen that one. It's sort of, I think I saw that one as part of like a 4-movie set along with some other movies by let me see. It's Sam something or other. Who did? Come on. I'm trying to. And I was actually sort of thinking about like the title of that movie. You know, it's Creature of the with the Atomic Brain. Oh, Atom Brain. My bad. Huh. I know that's part of a 4 set that I've seen. Huh. So I'm a little confused. Oh well. It's a pretty good movie. It has Richard Denning, which if you've seen Creature from the Black Lagoon, that is one of the roles you may know him from. But it is a really warped movie, and like I said, I was thinking about, you know, the creature part of the name. You know, it's humans who are getting worked on to have, you know, atomic brains. But, you know, you think about the word creature, in this case, it's sort of, I guess, a little, it's rather dehumanizing, but it works because they are being dehumanized. These poor people are getting turned into monsters. So, yeah. There's also another one that I'm trying to think of. We have that along with, I think, 3 other movies that I've seen. And now I'm trying to think of one of the other ones. Those are like the main 2 of that set that we particularly like. Because the other 2. Well, the other one is, I think, Zombies from Mora To or 2. And the other one is, I think, a variation on the werewolf. And that one is just really sad. That's one that is just. Oh, there we go. I think that is. Oh, yes. The other one I'm thinking of that I'm trying to describe here is the giant claw. And it is. It is somewhere between laughably good because it has this giant bird in it that is just hideously ugly. It's like a cross between, well, this is something, I guess, if you've only really seen like guineas, you know, the little guinea birds, but it's somewhere between a cross between that, like an ostrich, and a buzzard all in one. And so it's just sort of laughably good in that regard. I mean, it's a pretty good movie overall, but it is just so the puppet thing is just so funny. So yeah. And since this guy is a Gaboon Viper, I think he needs to be a little bit buffer, because that's something I'm trying to do with these characters. If I'm basing them off of a snake of some kind, there we go. Then I try to kind of pull in what I can from that snake as reference material. So yeah, since I'm on that topic, yeah, these are just rough sketches that I'll probably go back and refine. Some of these poses, yeah, I don't care how that looks at all. Some of the poses that you see me doing may wind up just being completely scrapped and redone, but yeah. Scoot this over. There we go. So yeah, trying to think of some other good movies. They're just somewhere between funny and sad. Or not funny and sad. Horror. There we go. Oh no, what is this? There's a remake of The Giant Claw. Oh, okay. Well, since I had to look up because I couldn't remember the name of it, I saw something about remake, and I'm seeing like remake 2020. So I'm guessing that was something that I really remakes to me are a mixed bag. You know, there are times when a movie or story really benefits from a remake. Like for instance, if it's something based off of a book. But so often it just feels like the remake does not do justice by the original product at all. Let me change pages here so I can actually see what I'm working with. If I can, as I boop. Just tuck that behind. Okay. So, I'm kind of glad that hopefully that remake got shelved. If they were actually planning on remaking The Giant Claw, because that's the movie I was talking about, The Giant Claw. So, because like I said, remakes I feel like are something that it drives me nuts because it's always the good movies that they're remaking. You know, I wish they would go into like, I don't know, write down like a bunch of names of movies that have failed, and then reach into the hat and pull it out one and then go with it, because there are lots of movies out there that had like an interesting premise or something and just were poorly executed. If they had just been executed better, then they could have been a hit, but because they were poorly executed, no one has ever given them another thought. And that's why I wish they would do is stop remaking the stuff that was a hit whenever it came out. And granted, I suspect The Giant Claw probably maybe was not a hit. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah, it's on something, yeah. But not everything is meant. It looks like there's sort of a cult following, I think, for it, because that sort of makes sense that would kind of. There's a lot of stuff out there that gets like a cult following. Yeah, that also has. The Giant Claw also has Jeff Morrow. I think he's in a bunch of other stuff that I've seen. Assuming I'm thinking of the same person. What is like the rating? Oh wow, yeah. On IMDb, the rating for the Giant Claw is like 4.6 out of 10. So, I guess for back then, that probably was Yeah. Well, now I'm seeing like a bunch of other things that are being listed. I'm recognizing some of these. Okay, I've seen It Came From Beneath the Sea. I haven't seen that in a while. Uh, 220 million miles to Earth. A bunch of these old, I wouldn't say so much classic, but kind of more like lesser known B-rated type ones. They're fun to watch just because they're sort of cheesy horror films, you know? Let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to give this guy a little bit of a thicker, darn it. And there we go. That's the problem. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Because I was thinking about how, Gaboon Vipers are built. Because they got kind of the thicker bodies and they can do the caterpillar crawl thing, which I think is kind of cool. Well, since it's just me here, I shall go look up some reference. If I can find the right thing here. So, yeah. I guess if anyone happens to be listening, feel free to list off some good horror flicks you've seen down below, just for a bit of fun. Where is what I'm looking for? And all fails, look up reference. There you go. My biggest problem with some poses for like superheroes and stuff is that so many of them have been used and reused, and when you get down to it, that can't really be helped because, you know, it's gonna happen. People are limited to how many poses they can make. I mean, there's a lot we can do, but there's a point where by the time you're doing a pose, if something is out of place and you're in pain, then there's a big problem. So that's what I'm trying to do right now, is find some decent reference material here. Because I don't really care for this pose. Even though I've sort of roughed it out this much. So there we go. I kind of like the idea of having the other leg back behind him. I mean, to be honest, these are supposed to be more like display images or whatever, like something just to show the characters. So I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be like an action pose. But I want there to be something for visual interest's sake. And let me just go back. Yeah. Queen of the Damned, I have good memories, despite the bad reviews. Vampire movie, by the way. Yep. I don't think I've seen that one. This is, I think, maybe my first time hearing of it. So I may have to eventually look into that. I've seen a lot of stuff. I also have not seen a lot of stuff, if you know what I mean. Let me scroll down. Yeah, he's getting a little big for his britches here. This is my first time drawing this character. Uh, that's fine, that's fine. It can't be helped whenever it's the title of the thing. Oh boy. Well, I may be wrapping up shortly because it looks like we've got a storm on the way. Oh boy. So I guess thank you for hanging in there even whenever I bailed for a while. I have not yet. I am sorry. That's on my list of things to do. I just have not gotten around to it yet. So yeah. Here, let me just yeah, I'll probably have to just completely shut down. So yeah. I will be bailing here in a moment. I'm just gonna let that go into that folder because all that matters is I can find the stupid thing. And hopefully by the next time you see me working on this, it will be a lot more refined and less messy. So I guess thank you for watching. I shall be hopefully seeing people next time. And for anyone who happens to be listening through this, I guess whenever later on after the live stream is over, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm sorry for the break there. I had to yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of people click off during that. I can't really blame them. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to be live streaming next week. I would love to live stream later this week, but it all depends on how things go. So I guess thank you and bye bye. Yes. I'm giving this thing a minute to catch up on the thing because otherwise it'll probably cut me off.